Tom, I've got some education for you.
All right.
The Herschel Walker trade.
You looking up the picks?
Well, yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, future United States Senator
We
Herschel,
picked up
Herschel Walker.
Emmett and Russell Maryland.
Finished, Tom, 12th all-time NFL yardage. Did you know that? Not even counting his USFL yards. NFL all-time yardage, Herschel Walker is 12th. Jerry Rice first, Brian Mitchell, Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, and Frank Gore are their top 5 all-time yardage leaders. Darren Sproles 6, Tim Brown 7, Marshall Faulk, Steve Smith Jr. Your man,
Has Frank Gore
senior.
ever retired?
Yeah, he just did.
Oh,
He finally retired.
I was getting ready to say.
Frank Gore's
He's
no
been
longer.
around forever.
LaDainian Tomlinson is 10th. Barry Sanders is 11th. And Herschel Walker is 12th. Tom, in Barry Sanders' career, he only got 140 more total yards than Herschel Walker.
And how many Super Bowls did Herschel Walker win?
He might have got one.
Did he go back to
No, he
Dallas
didn't
and
get
get one?
No,
Because
he
I know he ended up back in Dallas.
No, he came the year after they won.
Yeah.
He came in 96.
That was the
year after they won.
ironic thing to it all.
Yeah.
He came
He
back
left,
to
they
Dallas.
won, they left. Now, as far as the trade went, Tom, can you name anything about the trade? I bet
Can
you
I
can't.
name
I
anything
bet you
about the
can't.
trade? I know there's a bunch of picks.
Do you know anybody they got out of the picks? And remember, you have to make the right pick,
They
right,
got-
Terry?
Yeah.
I think they got Russell Maryland, Darren Woodson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Emmett.
Kevin
yeah,
Smith,
Yeah, I
and
figured
Kevin
Emmett.
Smith.
Yeah.
Minnesota ended up with Jake Reed.
So I started to say Irvin, but Irvin came before that trade.
Yeah, Irvin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Irvin and Aikman were before.
And
this.
Aikman was before the
Right,
trade.
Aikman's 89.
You got to remember they had Aikman and Steve Walsh. If they choose Steve Walsh over Aikman, then you don't have 3 Super Bowls. Maybe you never know. Emmett. Okay, so here's how the picks went. Minnesota gave them 10. They hit on 4 of them. Okay, it's not like they didn't hit on all of them. They hit on 4 of them.
Well, if you give 10 and 40%,
Right.
That's what I was
You take
getting
it.
ready to say.
Now, technically, one of them they didn't hit on, the Emmitt Smith pick. They had to trade that one to get to Emmett. Okay.
Yeah, but they had the capital to
Again,
get
right? Okay, Tom. What I'm saying, Jesus Christ, you can't talk to you. What I'm saying is the exact pick that was sent to them was not used to pick Emmitt Smith. Dallas moved up from 21 to 17 with the Pittsburgh Steelers to get Emmett with the 17th pick. So 16 other teams passed up Emmett. Pittsburgh didn't want him because who'd they have then? Was it Merrill Hodge in 92?
Might have had Jerome Bettis.
It was.
I think it was because he was on the.
Bettis was was a Ram.
Yeah, okay.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it was Merrill Hodge. 90, he was on the Tecmo Bowl game, wasn't it?
He
Him,
was.
it Barry Foster?
They could have.
It's Merrill Hodge and Barry Foster. They chose, they didn't want Emmitt Smith. Minnesota's 2nd round pick, they got rid of it. Minnesota's 6th round pick, got rid of it. Russell Maryland, so that was 90. So the only one pick worked out in 90 was Emmett when they traded up. 91, they got Russell Smith with was he number 1 overall? Yeah, number 1 all with the deal.
They had Tim Worley and Merrill Hodge.
They had to trade their capital again to move up with New England Patriots for the number 1 overall pick and get Russell Maryland. So neither one of those were the actual picks Minnesota sent them. I'm learning just as much as y'all are. Those were actually traded up for later with, like Tom said, extra draft capital. In 92, used it apart as a trade. The 2nd round pick was for Alonzo Highsmith. They used it to trade it with the Houston Oilers. Kevin Smith and Darren Woodson were picked in the 92 draft. Kevin Smith, number 17 overall, and Darren Woodson, 37 overall. And Terry, I will argue the 2 most important draft picks of all of those throughout those years was Emmett, obviously, and then Darren Woodson.
Oh, for sure.
I think Darren Woodson is more important than Aikman and Irvin.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
And a lot of people, and I'm glad Terry does agree with that.
Yeah.
They haven't. One reason I think they haven't sniffed a Super Bowl or NFC Championship game since then, Terry, besides Roy Williams, has he had a good safety? And he couldn't cover anybody.
Yeah.
Darren Woodson was good, very, very good pick for them.
If you have a good safety, you'll have a good defense, and you can compete. And Darren Woodson was just fantastic. And I think he was always on the team. You added Dion to that made it just you weren't do nothing.
That's why I always like
because
Mike
Woodson
Leonard.
could double the other side,
Yeah.
and now you're screwed because Dion's took that guy out. Woodson's got the other side. Him and Emmett were the 2 biggest picks. So anyway, in the end, Minnesota drafted a Mike Jones, Reggie Thornton, Pat Newman, and Jake Reed, and of course got Herschel. In their defense, Tom, the year before, Herschel had 1,500 yards rushing.
Oh, the Cowboy fans were distraught when they traded him.
In an era where running backs were more important. So,
now, here's what's weird, Terry. He only had 5 touchdowns. How do you have 1,500 yards?
Because we suck.
You only get 5 touchdowns.
Did they have like a short
That's
yardage?
That was our one.
When you get
No,
down to
Dorsett
the,
was on the team. It was Walker and Dorsett.
most
So who
of the
they give it,
time, though,
Dorsett?
you have somebody that daggum takes up all the slack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened with Marcus Allen late in his career. That's what he became. He became a short yardage. I remember that because he was like 2 yards in. All right, give
And
it
he could die. He would jump over the
Frank
pile.
Gore was
Frank
one of
Gore,
those.
yeah.
Same thing.
You remember Marcus? That was his thing. He would jump over that pile.
Didn't Dorsett finish up in Denver?
Yes, in 1988. That year, the year that Herschel had the 1,500 yards. It was that year. So once they got rid of Dorsett, Herschel took over, got 1,500 yards. And they traded him.
So the Cowboys had 2 young quarterbacks that worked out for them.
Right, and that's what I was saying with the Panthers. Like I would much rather be in y'all's situation now today than I was last week with just Sam Darnold and just Matt Corral. Right now, you have 2 young good quarterbacks.